Welcome to Electrified, it's your host Dylan Loomis. So first up today we have some video of the first red Model Y spotted at Giga Texas. It does look a little dirty to me unless it's just a reflection, so perhaps it's not fresh off the line. Either way, we've now seen black, blue, white, and red Model Ys out of Giga Austin. One downside of the Tesla price hikes is that they have just priced themselves out of that $2,000 rebate in California. The limits for the Clean Vehicle Rebate project were $45,000 for a car and up to $60,000 for a crossover, so the Model 3 and Model Y have indeed been priced out of this rebate. Alright, so have a listen to the latest Elizabeth Warren nonsense, and I will chime in to debunk the latest disinformation to right the narrative.
So look, I'm happy to celebrate success. But let's remember, Elon Musk didn't make it on his own. He got huge investments from the government, from taxpayers, from those public school teachers and those minimum wage workers who've been paying their taxes all along to get that business up and running and help see it through rough times.
All right, listen, a few things to say to this point. Let's not forget, Tesla has created over 50,000 American jobs building EVs and has created hundreds of billions of dollars in shareholder wealth. To call Elon a freeloader is an absolute joke. Why is that? Well, let's not forget, Tesla paid back that $465 million loan from the Department of Energy that it got back in 2010. They paid it back early with interest. Let's not forget, GM, on the other hand, was given billions of dollars from the government, and the government ultimately lost $11.2 billion because of that loan, whereas Tesla, the government actually made money from that loan, which, by the way, was much smaller. So in the grand scheme of things, no, Tesla has not received huge amounts of money from the taxpayer, and whatever it has received, it's already paid back with interest.
Elon Musk paying this year, that's great because he chose to sell some stock. 2018, also one of the richest people in the world. How much did Elon Musk pay that year? We actually saw his taxes that year. And the answer is he paid zero.
But Senator,
the public school teacher did not have the option to pay zero in 2018 or in 2021.
This argument is so played out, I don't understand why somebody doesn't call her out when she keeps saying this. Elon paid nothing in taxes in 2018 because he overpaid in 2017. So what that means is that yes, Elon did pay taxes in 2018, it's just he actually paid them in 2017.
Bottom line is, because he created that company here and it's this successful, why not celebrate the $11 billion that he's paying? It's more than every senator and everyone in public government for their entire career.
Do you want me to answer?
Contribute that much?
Do you want to give me a chance to answer? I celebrate success. How many times do I have to say that?
He's not a freeloader.
Can I finish my sentence?
Okay.
I celebrate success, but I think when people make it big, you've got to make an investment back in this country so we have a chance to help the next company, the next person who's got a great idea.
This seems completely absurd to me. It's like she's arguing that it's now Elon's responsibility to fund the next generation of entrepreneurs because he was successful. And talking about investing in America, look, without Elon, America would have zero chance at any form of relevance in this EV revolution in the decades to come. It's just absurd to me that people in power like Elizabeth Warren don't seem to recognize that fact. All right, so we don't need to spend any more time with that, but hopefully you have some ammo to counter those arguments. Moving on, it looks like GM is actually benchmarking Tesla's Smart Summon with a Model 3 that has been spotted by GM Authority. So GM possibly working on their own feature that will be part of their Ultra Cruise system, which is an upgraded version of the Super Cruise system. And there are plenty of jokes out there about this because if we're being honest, Tesla's Smart Summon definitely has a lot of improvement to make it a reliably useful feature, but we do also know that Tesla is working on a reverse summon feature as well. This reverse summon is when your car would drop you off and then drive by itself to find a parking spot, which is the opposite of Smart Summon, which comes to get you from the parking spot. Word on the street was that some of this testing for reverse summon in Canada was supposed to be better than Smart Summon because it's rumored to be built on Tesla's single stack neural network. Reverse summon is currently being tested by engineers, so maybe in the next few months we will get a version of a public release. Along those same lines, GM was spotted benchmarking a Model S Plaid. This is presumably going to be for a Cadillac type EV to directly compete with the Model S Plaid. We got a comment from Dan Ives that I really enjoyed. When you boil all of the EV news down, this is what it comes to. Despite all the noise, despite all the competition right now, Tesla, at least in EV land, it's really Tesla's world and everyone else is paying rent. With regard to the FSD beta in Canada, Elon said going out tonight for 99 scores. And to any of you Canadians, just be aware some users were saying it was struggling a lot with finding lanes because of all the salt and water on the roads, so be careful if you end up getting it tonight. JB Straubel was interviewed at CERAWeek, which essentially covers global energy markets, geopolitics, and technology, and he had some notable quotes. He reminded us that 50 to 70% of battery costs actually come from the metals and components, so the actual assembling of these battery cells makes up a minority of the overall cost. In terms of how long JB thinks EV batteries will last, he said it's a subjective thing depending on what people's goal is for the car, but I think it's going to easily be 15 years in most cases. I think battery life will probably track the life of the vehicle. Personally, I think it's less likely that people will place a new battery in an old car. Redwood Materials is currently recycling 8 to 10 gigawatt hours per year, which is enough for hundreds of thousands of cars. And JB mentioned even old batteries may have a second life as energy storage, and let's not forget the battery pack is still extremely valuable due to the base metals in it. And the full interview will be linked below. Tesla was granted a new patent, and if you look at inventors, we see James Anthony Musk. Now, in a brief bit of research, I was not able to find any connection to Elon. Let me know if I missed it though, I'm definitely curious. For whatever it's worth, I found this LinkedIn profile, James Musk, who previously interned at Palantir. But what is this patent? This invention aims to address the increasing cost and complexity of vision sensors for mass market autonomous vehicles. This method basically enables a vehicle to detect and interpret the distance to its surroundings using the vehicle's image data and machine learning. So basically, this patent describes an invention using two neural networks to gauge the distances of objects using only image data. The first neural net can determine the distance of objects from images captured by the cameras around the vehicle. The other neural network creates training material in the form of annotated images for the first neural network. Full patent will be linked below. In a note from Adam Jonas and Morgan Stanley, they mention a key point here: the plumbing of the global auto supply chain needs to be ripped out and re-architected. We see Tesla as uniquely positioned to help accelerate the new supply architecture, and he added these comments.
But of course, there's massive challenges in scaling that 4680 cell. Do you think that Musk ultimately pulls it off? And if he does, what does that mean for Tesla? Is that being priced into your target at the moment?
Well, if you don't mind, let me flip the question back to you. Can you think of any other tech firm or any firm in the world that has the capability and the scale to re-architect and industrialize a supply chain, which is currently broken? I mean, the current battery supply chain is not secure. It relies on materials that are not sustainable in parts of the world that are contested and not secure, to say the least. If it's not Elon, who else is going to do it?
He added the winners in the global EV market will be those firms that can guarantee supply of the key raw materials. The stock market is telling you that Tesla is far ahead in this regard. But the most eye-opening comment from this entire report is this: we forecast Tesla to spend an accumulated combined R&D and CapEx of between $200 and $250 billion through 2030. This amount of spending approaches Toyota's entire market cap. So let's compare that with what Tesla did in 2021. R&D spend of $2.5 billion for the year, CapEx spend of $6.4 billion. Add those two together, $8.9 billion. Let's just round up to $10 billion for easy math. So if you take 9 years from 2022 to 2030, multiplied by $10 billion per year, that's $90 billion per year that Tesla would spend in this category if they kept things the same. Now, obviously Tesla will grow, but Morgan Stanley is predicting a huge increase in CapEx and R&D spend over the next 9 years. Apparently, Tesla critics NABU and the Green League are considering a lawsuit against Giga Berlin. Nothing tangible, nothing to worry about for now, but in case you're new, just keep this in mind: Volkswagen Financial Services and NABU have been working together since 2008. Here we have an interesting poll with some encouraging data. The poll found that there is widespread bipartisan support for what it terms smart policies designed to increase the adoption of EVs. According to Zeta, 79% of voters support consumer incentives that would help reduce the purchase price of EVs, and 69% of voters would support federal, state, and local investments in EV charging infrastructure. So what is this poll? Well, it was conducted between February 14th and the 22nd, and it surveyed 1,000 likely voters. It also found that 1 in 5 American car owners would definitely choose an EV as their next purchase vehicle, while another 27% would strongly consider an EV, adding up to around half of vehicle owners leaning very favorably to fully electric as a next vehicle. GM has shared that the Hummer has reportedly received around 65,000 reservations, and apparently 95% of these reservation holders are converting to actual orders. According to GM, production's actually slightly ahead of plan, and we're putting things in place now to expedite that so we can deliver these reservations quicker than we originally thought. However, new orders as of today would not likely be fulfilled until 2024 due to the number of current reservations. GM is expected to report its first quarter sales, including Hummer EVs, this Friday, and as a reminder, the GM's Hummer is the first to include the Ultium battery cell platform. And last up, the Senate has approved this $52 billion measure for chips here in the States. So next up, this legislation will be sent back to the House of Representatives, and there will then be a conference where lawmakers from both chambers will seek agreement on a compromise version. It could not be more clear that the United States needs to reduce its reliance on semiconductors from Taiwan and other places, so hopefully we can work together and get this done. That'll do it for today. Please like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.